everybody. Sorry it's been so long since my last update. We've been really busy lately. But I just wanted to come on here today to let you all know how our first round of IVF played out. So we did end up having 8 embryos, 8 5-day embryos, which was really an amazing number because we had 15 still growing strong on day 3. And the fact that we still had over half on day 5 was really encouraging. So that really made us happy. Now, the quality of the embryos was not quite as good as I had hoped. All of our embryos were graded either 3BB plus or 3BB, and I think one was a 3B minus. The embryologist said that was really good and that they very rarely give out grade A embryos, but I guess in my mind I was sort of hoping that we would have had some 4AAs or 4ABs. So for a split second there I wanted to transfer 2, but the embryologist did recommend to only transfer 1 because she said that a 3BB plus was still really good quality and that transferring 1 would probably be the best choice for us. So we did go ahead and transfer 1. The actual transfer went by really well. Didn't really have a whole lot of discomfort. The worst part was just having to have a full bladder. But I did have some Valium and that helped relax me some, and the actual procedure was not very painful and it was very quick. They were in and out of there pretty quick. And then after that, they told us that I didn't need to be on bed rest or anything, just to continue about my normal daily activities. So I didn't really do any kind of bed rest. I didn't do any acupuncture or anything like that. I did eat some pineapple core the day after transfer, and just because they say that I think it's called bromelain or something that helps with implantation, so I did do that. And about 4 hours after the transfer, I did feel some kind of tugging, pulling sensation that I thought maybe was implantation, so that really got my hopes up and got me excited. And then I didn't really feel a whole lot the rest of that day, but the next day I started to get mild cramping. I noticed a mild backache, and the backache progressively got worse 3 or 4 days after transfer. And then also I noticed an increase in appetite. So that's pretty much the only symptoms that I had: increase in appetite, backache, and just feeling more tired than usual, and mild cramping. So I decided to take a pregnancy test the evening of 3 days past the 5-day transfer. I just took one of those cheap 88-cent Walmart tests, and to my surprise it did come back with a very faint line, which really got me excited. So I decided to retest the next day with a first response and a Walmart 88-cent test, and lo and behold, both tests showed very faint lines, darker than the night before. So from that point on, I continued to test, and the line progressively got darker, which really got me excited, got my hopes up. But of course I was still being very cautious until the blood test, because for a viable pregnancy, they say they want to see a number over 50 for your first beta. And my goal for myself was over 100, because personally I have never known a pregnancy to progress with a first beta reading under 100. So my goal was 100 plus. Oh, and also I forgot to mention I got a positive on a digital, the one that actually read out pregnant. I got a positive on that 5 days past the 5-day transfer. So that made me really excited. It's one thing to be scrutinizing the lines constantly and trying to think, is there a line, is there not a line? But to actually see the word pregnant written out on the test, that's a totally different experience. And it was just amazing finally getting to see that after over a year of seeing negatives. So I went in for my blood test 10 days past the 5-day transfer, and I was on pins and needles with getting my results. They did not call me with my results like they said they would until I think it was like 15 minutes till they closed. I ended up calling them, and they said, yes, your results came in. So I'm glad that I called, because I don't think they would have called me. But anyway, they said that my results were positive, and my beta number was 427, which I was so happy with that. That really made me happy, because as I said, my goal for myself was over 100, and 427 was just absolutely perfect. So then I went back 2 days later. I went back about 40 hours later. They say your HCG should double every 48 to 72 hours. And I went back about 40 hours later because my first blood draw was in the afternoon at 10 days past transfer. And my next blood draw was 12 days past transfer in the morning. And they called me that time in a timely manner, thankfully, and said that my HCG had actually increased from 427 to 733. And the doctor was really happy with that. In my mind, I guess I was kind of hoping that it would be around 900 or around 1,000, but the doctor was very pleased with the 733, and of course it's only been 40 hours, so that still was considered a really good result. The doctor said it was great. So I'm really happy with that. I've stopped taking pregnancy tests at this point because the test I took the day of beta actually showed the test line to be darker than the control line, and I don't think it gets much darker than that. So at this point I've stopped taking tests. My next blood draw is tomorrow, Monday morning, and hopefully that will show doubling because, let's see, I went in Friday morning and got 733. So tomorrow, Monday morning, hopefully it'll be double that. So like, over 1,400 plus, because healthy pregnancies double in 72 hours or less. But I'm sure it'll be really good because my first two numbers were great, and I'm just so happy. I'm so surprised that it worked for us the first time. I know so many people who go through 3, 4, 5 rounds of IVF with no result, and the fact that everything seems to be going perfect for us, just the very first fresh transfer is just absolutely a miracle. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that very first positive pregnancy test. It's just a feeling like no other. And I'm so glad that we went ahead and did the fresh transfer too, instead of waiting around to do a frozen transfer, because I figure I've got 7 more options, 7 more chances to do a frozen transfer in the future, but only 1 chance to do a fresh transfer. So I'm so glad that I didn't overstimulate or have any problems like that, and that I was able to do the fresh transfer. So we're just really happy about that. I'm anxious to see what the blood results are going to be Monday, but I can't imagine it being anything but good news since everything's been good so far. And I'm thinking that our next step will probably be an ultrasound. It's probably going to be later next week or the week after. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping that our first ultrasound will be at 6 weeks plus, just because when I go in for the first ultrasound, I really want to be able to see a heartbeat. And I know that if you go in at like 5.5 weeks, that's really iffy. But of course, if they want me to come in earlier, I will. But my preference would be to go in when there's a high chance of seeing the heartbeat, because I really want to see that. So I think that's about everything. I probably will make a video a little later just talking about more in detail about the symptoms that I had and why I thought that I was pregnant during the wait before the beta test. But for now, I just want to come on here and give you guys a quick update to let you know that yes, we are pregnant and everything is looking great. And thank you so much for all of your prayers and support, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.